there. Welcome back to our channel, Luxury Vibe. Today we'll be taking a dive into Jeff Bezos properties. Currently tagged as the second richest man in the world, Amazon's founder and CEO have a net worth of $153 billion. Although he transferred a quarter of his stake in Amazon to his wife Mackenzie in 2019, he still maintains his rank on the chart. In total, Jeff Bezos owns 14 pricey properties, and this includes the properties he purchased when he first started making money. The property ranges from $5 to $165 million in places like New York City, California, Texas, his home state of Washington, and Washington, D.C. February 2020, Jeff Bezos bought the Warner Estate in Beverly Hills for $165 million. The estate features a 13,600 square foot mansion, 2 guest houses, a pool, and a tennis court. The Warner Estate bought by Bezos was a piece of Hollywood history belonging to billionaire David Geffen. The $165 million sale is recorded to be the most expensive sale in the history of home sales in state history. Last July, Bezos made another purchase right next to the Warner Estate, a $10 million home that shares a headline with the Warner home. The Warner Estate, which is now owned by Bezos, was built by Jack Warner, the co-founder and one-time president of Warner Brothers, in 1937. Warner began with 3 acres of what used to be farmland, and slowly, but surely, added parcels of adjacent land. He also built out the grounds of the estate, adding a golf course and 2 ponds. The former owner of the Warner Estate liked to throw extravagant parties that were attended by stars like Olivia de Havilland and Jimmy Stewart. An invitation to a party in the estate was apparently one of the most sought after in Hollywood in the late 1930s and 40s. Warner filled the estate with expensive art, especially a portrait of his wife and painted by Salvador Dali. However, Warner died in 1978 and Ann Warner owned the house until she died in 1990. That year, music and movie tycoon David Geffen bought the whole estate including the art for $47.5 million according to Forbes, and owned it till it was bought by Jeff Bezos in the year 2020 according to the Wall Street Journal. The Journal reported that Jeff Bezos purchased the house for $165 million, making it the most expensive home sale in California history. No brokers were involved in the sale according to the Journal. The Warner Estate spans 8 acres and is situated in the Benedict Canyon neighborhood of Beverly Hills. The estate promises utmost privacy as it is surrounded by tall hedges, blocked off by a large gate, and completely hidden from view from the street. The compound is home to multiple dwellings including 2 guest houses and a 13,600 square foot mansion. The Georgian-style home has 8 bedrooms and 9 bathrooms. According to the Journal, it includes a floor that was once owned by Napoleon. The Journal reported that the grounds also include a tennis court and manicure gardens. There is a large pool and what appears to be an adjacent hot tub outside one of the large guest houses. At one point the property also included a 9-hole golf course and a motor court with a garage and gas pumps according to Architectural Digest, though it is not clear if these amenities are still on the property. Bezos reportedly bought an adjacent property in July for $10 million. The property is on Tropical Avenue, which is perpendicular to the Warner Estate. It shares a hedge with the compound, though it is currently accessed from a different street. That adjacent property was built in 1930 and was last sold for $5.45 million, according to Variety. It features 3 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, 6 fireplaces, a rear patio, and a rose and vegetable garden. It's not clear what Bezos would want with an adjacent property, but he has a history of snapping up homes near his larger estates. In 2017, he bought the house next door to his previous Beverly Hills mansion for $12.9 million. His ex-wife, Mackenzie Scott, was granted both homes in the couple's divorce. I guess we can all agree that all Bezos wants is a private life in his Warner Estate with his girlfriend, Lauren Sanchez, from his home state of Washington to New York City. A 2017 land report named Bezos the country's 28th largest landowner. In June 2019, the Amazon CEO dropped about $80 million on 3 adjacent New York City apartments in the priciest real estate deal ever south of 42nd Street in New York, according to appraiser Jonathan Miller. Over the years, he's picked up several New York City apartments, a ranch in Texas, and homes in Washington State, California, and Washington, D.C. Before Bezos' divorce was finalized in July 2019, these properties also belonged to his wife Mackenzie Bezos, as all real estate acquired throughout a marriage is considered joint property in Bezos' home state of Washington. They were married in 1993, although Bezos made at least one major real estate purchase after his divorce was announced. It's unknown how the properties were divided after the couple split up. Amazon did not immediately respond to requests to comment on the matter. Bezos' home base is a nearly 29,000 square foot estate in Medina, Washington. Bezos' 2 homes in Medina span about 5.3 acres. According to the Wall Street Journal, he paid $10 million for the property in 1998. One home is a 20,600 square foot, 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house, and the other is an 8,300 square foot, 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom home rumored to have cost $53 million. Medina, located on a peninsula just across Lake Washington from Seattle, is an exclusive suburb that's also home to Bill Gates, as well as other Microsoft bigwigs, tech entrepreneurs, and telecom magnates. Bezos' estate underwent a $28 million renovation in 2010. Bezos also owns property in Beverly Hills, California, one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Los Angeles. Bezos bought this Spanish-style mansion in 2007 for $24.45 million. The 7-bedroom, 7-bathroom Beverly Hills home is advertised by Dream Homes magazine as having a greenhouse, a sunken and lighted tennis court, a huge swimming pool, 4 fountains, and a 6-car garage. The street is a hotspot for Hollywood stars and is said to have been home to Jimmy Stewart, Donna Reed, and Walter Matthau. 10 years later, Bezos bought a smaller house next door. Apparently, the first Beverly Hills house did not fit Bezos' space requirements. In 2017, he bought a comparatively modest 4-bedroom, 4,568 square foot home for $12.9 million right next door to his first house. As you can see, Bezos' property dominates the mansion-filled block. Bezos also owns a 30,000-acre ranch about 30 miles from the town of Van Horn, Texas. Bezos grew up spending summers on his grandparents' ranch outside of Cotulla, Texas, and bought the 30,000-acre Figure 2 ranch to give his family the same experience. Bezos bought the 30,000-acre property after the seller spent millions renovating it. The property is also the base for Bezos' private space company, Blue Origin. 2015 when it successfully launched and landed the reusable rocket, New Shepard. It's safe to assume that all the billionaires are building their own planets since they all gradually began to individually own rockets and spaceships. The former Amazon CEO can also call the U.S. Capitol home as of 2016. In 2016, Bezos bought a former textile museum in Washington, D.C. for $23 million. The 27,000 square foot space in D.C.'s Kalorama neighborhood is a former textile museum and dates back to 1912, earning it a spot on the National Register of Historic Places. The Obamas own a $5.3 million home nearby, and Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner recently moved in right down the street. The 2 joint structures on the property have nearly 27,000 square feet of living space, making it the largest home in Washington, D.C. Bezos is said to be spending $12 million to renovate the homes and the surrounding property. In January 2020, a source told Washington that Bezos had also bought the 4-bedroom home across the street. The brick house went on the market for just under $5 million in December 2019 and sold less than a month later, according to The Washingtonian. The publication suggests that the former Amazon CEO may have picked up the neighboring property to protect his privacy, as the home had a direct view into his mansion across the street. In December 2019, Amazon announced plans to open a new 1,500-employee office in New York City. less than a year after scrapping its plans to build its second headquarters in the city. But Bezos had owned other residences in the city as far back as 1999, according to the New York Observer. He bought 3 condos in a historic Manhattan building overlooking Central Park for $7.65 million in 1999. In 1999, the New York Observer reported, Bezos bought 3 apartments in the Century Building at 25 Central Park West in the Upper West Side neighborhood of Manhattan under an LLC called Jedema. We can all agree that this guy just buys houses and properties just for fun, because these are a lot of properties for just one man. But then, what can be expected from the world's second richest man? That's all for today, and thanks for watching.